Owning a waterfront property is a dream for a lot of people. The views, the access to nature, the idea of waking up every morning to the sounds of waves. It sounds amazing, right? But the big question is, are waterfront properties actually worth the price? There are, of course, some huge benefits to owning a home right on the water, but there are also some hidden costs and challenges that you might not have considered. So today we're going to break it all down. The pros, the cons, and the key things that you need to know before buying a waterfront home. Let's get right in. Firstly, the premium price, why waterfront homes cost more. Waterfront homes almost always cost more than similar homes that are not on the water. But why? There's a few key reasons. First of all, scarcity. There are only so many waterfront properties available, especially in desirable locations. And of course, they aren't making more of them. The shoreline is what the shoreline is. So along with scarcity, there's high demand. People in general are willing to pay more of a premium for that view, for that lifestyle. And typically, there's stronger appreciation. Over time, waterfront homes tend to hold their value more so than homes that are not on the water. But with that premium price tag comes a few extra costs that you need to be prepared for. Buying a home is just the first step. Waterfront properties come with extra costs that regular homes don't always have. Firstly, higher property taxes. Because waterfront land is more valuable, your assessment and your annual tax bill will almost always be higher. Also, increased insurance costs. Your new waterfront home may require flood insurance or special coverage for storm damage. So do make sure you reach out to your insurance provider and get a quote before you make that purchase. Also, more maintenance may be required. Saltwater, humidity, and wind can be tough on homes. You may need to repaint, repair decks, maintain seawalls more often. And also septic and water systems. Many waterfront homes aren't on city water or sewer, so you'll need to maintain a septic system and a well. Now, a key point to take into consideration is if the septic system is older, it may no longer be up to code in its current location. Perhaps it's too close to the water now and no longer conforms to today's standards. This may be okay right now, but if in the future you need repairs on that septic system and hire a qualified professional that is rightly pulling permits to do so, they might not be able to work on the system where it is physically located. They may need to move the system to a new location to conform to today's code, which will elevate costs. But what happens if there's physically not enough room to move it to? Perhaps there's a well and a septic system needs to be 100 feet away from the well, and the only way to move it away from the water is to go closer to the well. Well, maybe you could do so, but it could be at the detriment of that well. That well may no longer be able to be used with the septic system placed that close to it. Another solution would be switching to a septic system that is no longer a tank with a field that disperses the liquid, but changing to a pump and haul system, which is essentially just a large tank that fills up when you have a shower or you flush the toilet. So as it fills up, you'll need to have it regularly pumped out, which of course elevates costs also. And regarding wells, if they're really close to the ocean, saltwater infiltration could become a factor. So it's more important than ever, if you are purchasing waterfront, you do have a septic inspection and you do have a water test, so you really know what you're walking into with your eyes open. Extra costs can add up with owning waterfront, so it's important to budget for them before jumping into a purchase. Now let's talk a little bit more about why people love waterfront homes, because despite the higher costs, there are some big lifestyle advantages. Firstly, unbeatable views. Nothing beats watching the sunset or sunrise over the water. You'll have direct access to nature, whether it's boating, paddle boarding, or just sitting on your deck. Being close to that water is an experience like no other. It is calming and relaxing, which leads into peace and privacy. Many waterfront homes are away from busy streets, offering a quiet and private setting. So if you're someone who thrives in nature and loves the idea of living right on the water, these lifestyle perks might be worth every penny. I really don't need to talk you into the appeal. There is a reason why waterfront is so appealing to everybody. Before you jump into that purchase though, a few more things that you should be aware of and that you need to check. Tidal versus non-tidal waters. Some properties are on tide-affected shorelines, meaning the water level changes drastically throughout the day and throughout the year. So if you're buying a home for boating, this could matter. Another factor to be aware of is erosion and climate risks. You can check if the area has shoreline erosion, flooding risks, or land stability issues. You may consider getting a geotechnical inspection and report to check on the stability of the bank that the home is sitting on. There could also be legal restrictions. Some waterfront properties have strict rules about building docks. It may not be possible, making additions, building something closer to the water, or even accessing the shoreline. And waterfront ownership laws can vary from area to area. In some areas, you may own right to the waterline, while in many, public access is allowed in front of your home below the high tide line. So there's a lot of factors that can have serious impact on your experience as a waterfront homeowner. So always do your homework first and talk to the municipality and ask your questions. So after everything we've covered, is a waterfront home actually worth the price? If you're looking for a home that holds its value long term, a lifestyle centered around nature and relaxation, a place where you can enjoy perhaps boating, fishing, or just soaking in the views, then yes, a waterfront home can absolutely be worth the investment. But if you're not prepared for the extra costs and maintenance and potential restrictions, it might not be the right fit for you. At the end of the day, buying a waterfront home is about more than just price. It's about your lifestyle and what you are looking for in a home and the value that you are trying to get. So if you're serious about finding a waterfront property, we've sold many here on Vancouver Island. We'd be happy to talk and walk you through the process. Please reach out to us. All of our contact is on our website.